Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kristen Lamont and I'm a mom to a 7-month-old little boy. And this video is gonna be my advice to new moms or just moms in general and things I wish that I knew before I had a newborn. And my number one tip is to trust your gut. There are so many decisions to be made in those first few days and you need to do what makes you comfortable and you need to do what you think is best for your baby. Always be kind in the way that you speak, but always speak up and voice what you want. And sometimes it can help like preparing people and setting boundaries beforehand, but never be afraid to speak up because you are your baby's voice and you need to do what makes you comfortable. So that's my number one tip. Okay, so being vocal about what you want. I found it really good to text beforehand and set boundaries that I wanted. And I could kind of say them in a more playful way so it wasn't so awkward. So I would text and be like, yeah, like we're excited to have visitors. I've just been afraid of the germs of people not washing their hands or kissing my baby. So then you're kind of laying out, please wash your hands when you get there and don't kiss my baby on the face. Instead of when people walk in going, go wash your hands, don't kiss him. You know what I mean? Like kind of texting beforehand, saying it in a playful way and laying it out. And then if that didn't work and they walk in and they don't wash their hands, you just kindly ask. And then if they go to kiss your baby on the face or the lips and you don't want that, putting your hand in front and saying, please don't kiss my baby, don't kiss them, I'm serious, don't test me. No, I'm just kidding. But so kind of laying it out beforehand, I think that really helped me. Okay, another thing is I know a lot of new moms have to deal with like in-laws or family that you're not necessarily related to. So my advice would be to let your spouse or significant other be the one to vocalize those boundaries to their side of the family. So I would have Shane contact his family and kind of tell them what will happen or the boundaries for their visits. That way it's not me barking orders at their family. It was kind of him talking directly to his family who is more comfortable with him, if that makes sense. If it's up to you and you need to communicate those, don't hold back. Be kind, but don't hold back. But if you have the opportunity, I found that it was a little bit more comfortable for Shane to communicate those boundaries. Something that my husband and I learned in the hospital, which is something that we knew beforehand, but when you have that baby in your arms and you're like exhausted after birth and everything, sometimes you just don't think clearly. And so I wish that I had this simple checklist so that I could know how to help soothe my baby. And I have like a notebook right here, so I'm gonna be looking down. But our nurse just gave us this checklist and it helped so much in the early days of being tired and everything. She said, check his diaper. Is he hungry? Is he too hot or too cold? Does he need some cuddles, some skin to skin, or like soothers? So does he need to be like swaddled? And I just think that having that checklist beforehand would have helped so much because we would go through it and if one thing didn't work, we'd go to the next thing and then we'd figure it out. And then now, you know, months later, it's like we know what he wants when he wants it. But just in those beginning days, just hungry, diaper, temperature, or some skin to skin. So going along with those soothers, something that I wish I had from the very beginning would be a Velcro swaddle. I don't think I got one for like 3 weeks or something, and oh my gosh, like those are so important. They just, you know, they're gonna stay tight and snug. Oliver always could break out of the blankets and I was always scared that they were gonna like cover his face. So a Velcro swaddle and also a portable sound machine. Like you can use it in the car seat, you can use it around your house so you don't have to always be in like a nursery with one sound machine. White noise and a Velcro swaddle do a lot for a little newborn who is getting used to living outside of your womb. So I wish I had those from the day he was born in the hospital. I would have brought them to the hospital, I swear. I wish I would have also purchased the Owlet before we got home from the hospital. I think we went 2 nights without it and I just couldn't sleep while he slept because I was always so worried. If you have the finances for it, I would highly recommend it. I still use it every single night and if I ever can't use it, I'm like, oh, I wish I had it. So if you have the finances for it, I would really recommend it. Another thing that I wish I actually didn't buy was an infant car seat. Now we're kind of getting into like items purchased. I have more like emotional stuff too to share on for new moms, but I wish I didn't buy an infant car seat. He got so big so fast. I wish we would have just gotten a convertible. I really love the Nuna Rava, so I'll just leave that out there. Something else that's kind of along products is I really like the Honest diaper cream, and I wish I would have known from the very beginning to put that on his butt every night before he went to bed so that he could stay in that diaper a little bit longer and that he wouldn't get a rash, because when he woke up every 2 hours, I would change his diaper. And I think when I changed his diaper, I would like make him wake up more instead of just, you know, picking him up, feeding him back to sleep and putting him down. So I wish I would have used butt cream from the very beginning, and I really like the Honest diaper cream, and it's rated like a 1 or a 2 on EWG app. If you don't have that app, that's something I would recommend to a new mom. You can scan products and see if they're clean or not. Another thing is to buy some freezer food. That would have been really nice to have our freezer stocked up with freezer food. I really like Trader Joe's frozen products. If we would have had those, I think we would have cooked at home a lot more, but we ended up just like ordering in or taking out. So I wish I would have had more freezer food. Okay, now back into like emotional stuff. Something I wrote down is you will take 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards, and it's okay, 1 day at a time. And I kind of was repeating this to myself when he was first born. The newborn days are just, sometimes things come up that you didn't expect, and you know, you're still healing, and there's just a lot going on. And so I remember posting on Instagram being like, I feel like we figure things out and then the next day like something's thrown at us and we're like, what's going on? And you know, Oliver was just getting used to living outside of my belly and getting used to light and sound and everything. And just remembering that it's a learning process. And I remember a girl that I follow on Instagram taking care of babies. She says that learning isn't linear, and if your baby is taking their first steps and one day they take 5 and the next day they only take 2, you're not going to get mad at them for taking 2, because you know that they're still learning and moving forward. So just maybe try and remind yourself of that, of when the days are hard and maybe you didn't figure out what he needed, what your baby needed, and they're crying a little bit more than they were yesterday. Just give yourself a little grace. Know that you guys are both learning together. Maybe just even communicate that to your baby of like, we're in this together, I'm gonna figure it out, we're gonna figure it out, and we're in this together. I remember saying that to Oliver when he was feeding. I'd say, thank you so much for having patience, we're gonna figure this out, we're gonna do this together. And it would just kind of help a lot, just understanding that they're going through a lot and you're going through a lot. Okay, so I breastfed, and man, breastfeeding, it's complicated. It's like more complicated than you'll think. And I wrote down that it will be complicated at first, and don't give up. And if you don't want to, you can feed your baby however you want. This is just kind of talking to the people who want to breastfeed. So with Oliver, it was complicated at first. He has a tongue tie, he still does, and so he couldn't really latch onto one side, and so I ended up using a nipple shield because I was so full, and so that was the only way that I could get him to latch. And actually my lactation consultant told me to compare being intimate with protection. I like don't want to speak like vulgarly, if that's the word. So she compared it to, have you ever been intimate with protection versus intimate without protection? And she told me that that was what I was doing to my baby, using a nipple shield. And I just went home and I was very upset about that, because that was how I was getting through breastfeeding the early days, and that was helping me, and it was my tool. And if you need to use a nipple shield, if you need to pump for a few days and use a bottle, like, dude, you do whatever you need to do. If you end up just pumping and giving them in a bottle, don't feel bad about it. Like, I can't believe that she said that, and I can't believe that anyone would shame you for doing whatever you need to do to feed your baby. You do whatever you need to do to feed your baby and to keep yourself mentally stable. So give yourself grace. Use tools if you need to use tools. Just take a deep breath and just feed your baby, and however they get fed is awesome. Like, dude, I can't believe that she said that, but that's in the past, right? I got through it. I'm feeding without a nipple shield now. Joke's on her. Okay, so that's all that I have for this video. I actually have another page on my notes of what I wish I knew before labor and delivery. So I think that I will add to that list and I'll close out this video. But honestly, if you have any questions, like, you can totally leave them in the comments below, or if they're more personal, you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is @kristen.lamont, but you can totally DM me. Ask me like questions about breastfeeding, ask me questions about labor and delivery, ask me questions about baby products. how to handle situations with your family. I'd love to kind of give my experience and hopefully help you through the newborn season, because it's hard. But dude, moms are awesome. Like, I was breastfeeding in Disneyland's little mom room, and like there's just like a line of rocking chairs, and we're all just like rocking and feeding our babies, not just sitting there. Like, dang, like moms are so awesome. Like, just our gig is like crazy, but like such a blessing. And it's just like, I don't know, like we get to raise up the next generation literally in our house and teach them how to be like functioning humans, and how to like love and enjoy life, and I don't know. So you're doing awesome. I hope your pregnancy is going good. I hope that you're feeling relaxed. I hope that you can just, after this video, you know, turn off your phone, take some deep breaths, pray to God, and pray for your delivery to go good, for your baby to be healthy, and you know, just take care of yourself. And I hope everything's going good. Okay, bye.